Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Oh my gosh, is it hot? Like with a capital T, hot, where I'm at right now. This summer has been pretty cold for me. And now to experience such a heat wave, it's very uncomfortable. I'm talking like, it was 60 degrees, 70 degrees. I remember complaining about this to you guys. I think I've complained about this several times actually to you guys. And now the weather decides to say, oh shoot, it's summer. Maybe I should start acting like summer. And now we're here with a real feel of 104 degrees. And you want to know what makes matters worse? I don't even have an AC in my room. No, I just have an open window and a fan. Do you know how annoying that is? It's just blowing hot air around this room. There's no good air circulation. It's terrible. I'm just glad that I attempt to spend most of my days outside of my room, to get some type of cool air. But in here, especially at night, it's terrible. And funny thing, actually, I saw a post from one of the people that I follow on Instagram saying how she may actually be ready for fall or something like that. And I couldn't agree more. I think she liked the heat, but she's just ready for the boots and the sweaters and the football. Quite frankly, the heat is irritating me. I think I'm ready for fall too, but more so just so that I'm not suffering in this heat with no AC. But anyways, before we get into this episode, I just want to say be sure to follow me on all of my socials at a Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. They're going to be linked below. You can check those out for almost daily tall girl content and updates on new podcast episodes. All right, we are bringing it back to self-confidence, self-acceptance, self-love today, and I feel like we just haven't spoken about this in a while. Yeah, I don't think we have, and I'm glad we're talking about it now, because if you're tall and or grew up tall, you know the feeling of being the odd one out, the feeling of thinking that something wrong with you, there's something wrong with your body, there's something wrong with your overall existence, and it's not a good feeling. And for a majority of this podcast, I'd talk about bettering yourself, talking nicely to yourself, saying your affirmations, things that you can do for yourself, by yourself, to lift your spirits. But what about other people? Like, what can other people do to help lift your spirits? Because, as girl boss, as independent boss, as I'm trying to be, let's face it, we're all human. We're social creatures. We crave acceptance from others. We crave validations from others. We crave affirmations from others. We want other people to like us. We want other people to accept us. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Who you surround yourself with. This is very important because people just play a very big role in how we see ourselves, especially at a young age. Confidence for a little kid doesn't necessarily come from their experiences just yet, because they haven't experienced a lot yet. It's more so their parents, what their parents are saying to them, telling them that you have to believe in yourself, we believe in you, you believe in you, and giving them that courage to step out of their comfort zone and just do things that will better their lives and not be so afraid to do so. that a majority of that is coming from their parents. And that's what I'm saying, the people you surround yourself with, your friends, your family. I'm also going to give another example. I was in 5th grade and some random girl came up to me on the playground. Of course, all the bad things happen on the playground, you know, and all those movies where you see the little kids in middle school bullying, it's always on the playground. The playground has very, very bad memories from me and probably a lot of us. But some girl came up to me on the playground and asked me, "Why are you so tall?" I know, typical, right? But it wasn't really what she said, because if it was a genuine question, like, why are you so tall, at that age, I guess I would understand. I'd be like, yeah, the birds and the bees, blah, blah, blah. But the way she said it was with some type of disgust. It was sarcasm. It was, I don't want to say hatred, but borderline hatred. And I remember looking over her shoulder and seeing her group of friends looking over at me and laughing at me. Now, 20-year-old me, you know, a couple years later, would say or would think that the solution may seem simple. Just give her a snarky comment and walk away, or just ignore her, because if you ignore her, she'll eventually go away, or even report it to a teacher. But 5th grade me, that wrong. No, it's not that simple, because I don't want to say hierarchy, but hierarchy. If you go to traditional brick and mortar school, you would know the hierarchy system, because, oh, she was one of the more popular kids, so because she sees me that way, there has to be something wrong with me. And she was my classmate. I had to deal with her for the entire school year. I couldn't just up and leave that class and move to a different class. My school, for some reason, didn't even function like that. That's crazy, because it's like, what if people are complaining about other kids in the class, or what if they're complaining about the teacher and they want to switch class because they think they'll be more successful in the other class, and they just didn't switch? Ugh, that's just terrible. But I had to stay in that class the whole year, and I felt really uncomfortable and really bad about myself, especially whenever I was around those group of girls. And that just goes to show you really that it doesn't even have to be friends and family that you're surrounded with that make you feel bad. It could be something as simple as classmates, or it could be coworkers at work. It could be your network that isn't really your friend, but acquaintances that you do business with or that you study with at school. What I'm trying to say is surrounding yourself with understanding and supportive people is very, very important for your self-confidence. People who respect you, respect you for your personality, and not just your physicality. Ooh, bars, personality, physicality. But there's obviously so much more to you than being tall, but some people do find being tall as attractive or powerful, and they're like, oh, hanging with the tall girl because she's cool. That is very shallow. Just because you appear that way because of your height, you have to be cool on the inside, okay? Not just the outside. But surrounding yourself with friends who can stand up for you when you're feeling down, or family members who emotionally support you and are understanding of your feelings, or just understanding of the fact that you are in your feels, you're feeling negative emotions. Surrounding yourself with acquaintances and strangers who just leave you alone and mind their own businesses instead of commenting about your height randomly. Surrounding yourself with people like that can honestly make a tremendous difference in your life. And obviously there are ways to remove the people who aren't respectful, remove those toxic people, whether you report bullies and you request to change your class. Hopefully your school is understanding of that if you ask to change a class or drop a class or whatever. Setting boundaries with that toxic person. In fact, I might do a full episode on that, on how to remove toxic people from your life. I feel like that's very important, especially if you are in your teenage years and you may not necessarily have the confidence to straight up tell them stop being in my life, or just ignore them, or you might feel bad, or it's just a situation that's extremely awkward where you can't really leave just yet. I'm probably gonna do a full episode on that. But other people's thoughts, comments, they do play a role in how you see yourself. Psychology is really, really weird, dude. Like, how you see yourself is not just what you see in the mirror, it's also how other people react to you, how other people talk to you, their body language towards you. Those are all social cues that we pick up, and we make a lot of assumptions, whether they're good or bad assumptions, but we make a lot of assumptions based on that. And I don't want to just say surrounding yourself with people that mentally support you, or just mentally support you. But I also want to talk about people who are physically look like you, because yes, we get it. We have understanding friends, understanding and supportive parents, classmates who are respectful of you, but just the sheer fact that they're shorter than you can also be a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but you still feel out of place. They could think you're cool for being tall, like, yeah, I wish I had your height, or your height is super cool and all that stuff, but they can still be shorter than you. You could be the tallest one and you can still feel bad about yourself, because it's like, why is everybody looking similar and I am extremely different? I don't feel comfortable with looking extremely different. And that's okay. We've all been there. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. No matter how old you are, at whatever age it is, it really, really doesn't matter. We have experienced that point in time where we still feel like the odd one out, even when we're in an okay or supportive environment. And that's why I want to talk about surrounding yourself with people who look like you, people who are around your height, people who are also on the taller side. And there's this thing on social media actually that they were talking about, when you follow people who don't look like you, like a group of people that look the same but look absolutely nothing like you, and you start to think like that is the standard of beauty, that is the standard of cool, or that's the standard of aesthetic that the whole world accepts. And because I don't look like that person, I don't want to say beautiful, because everybody's beautiful in their own way, but look like that type of beauty, or look like that type of cool, or look like that type of aesthetic, I will not be accepted. Social media also plays a heavy, heavy role in that. And that is not the case, because the world has so many different looking people. They have so many different heights, okay? You have the shorts, you have the ones who are average height, the ones who are tall, the ones who are extremely, extremely tall. There are so many different heights out there. And following people on social media, because, I'm pretty sure if you're here listening right now, you've been on social media before, because I know you follow me at A Tall Girls Podcast. But following people on social media who look like you will make you feel less out of place, and you can understand that there are other people out there in the world with traits like yours, and they could even make you feel proud of how you look. They may understand their struggles as well, and a lot of these people do post appreciation posts, like, I appreciate my body, I appreciate this about me, appreciate that about me, and they just have a whole community in the comments like, yes, like, I love this. Like, I'm going to start appreciating my features too, like how you appreciate yours. And following people like that can really, really help with your self-confidence. So I will definitely say, it's not just who you surround yourself in the physical world, also in the digital world. Follow tall accounts on Instagram or watch tall girl videos on TikTok, like mine. As Tall Girls podcast, yet again. But the media these days also has a huge role on how we see the world and how we see ourselves, good and bad. And, I'm talking about the digital world. You can still transfer that into the real world. There are tall people out there that you can hang out with. Sports and clubs. Is there a tall people club? Is there a club literally specifically for tall people? I really should find that out. I really want to check that out. But if there's a tall club, join the tall club. But trust me, hanging out with other tall people who understand the struggle is awesome. You could even have your rants about being tall with them. They could provide you advice. You could provide them with advice. It could be a great mutual loving relationship, friendship, whatever. So, got a tall cousin? Hit him up. Assuming that you like that cousin, of course, if you catch my vibe. If they're still toxic, you might want to stay away with that. But yeah, all in all, what I'm saying is the secret to building self-confidence as a tall girl is just surrounding yourself with supportive people and surrounding yourself with people who look like you, and even on social media, surrounding yourself with accounts of people that look like you. Because all in all, even though I'm big on, improve yourself, you got this, you have to change, you have to want it, you, other people still do have an effect on how we see ourselves. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope that you found some type of advice in there that was helpful, something, anything that made you feel better, that made you think like, wow, like that's so true. Molly out here like making fun of me, calling me a giraffe, and I don't like it, and I told her I don't like it, so I need to drop her. You should also follow my episode with that about how to remove toxic people from your life, because I'm going to do an episode on that. I feel like that's really important. But once again, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really hope that you liked it. As I said several times, follow me on my socials at A Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. They'll all be linked below. You could also leave me a review telling me how much you like this podcast, if you like my podcast, and how tall you are. And I really do appreciate you and your existence. You are amazing, you are deserving, and you are worthy. I will catch you in the next one. Good night and goodbye.